Have you ever felt like you're drowning? Not in water, in information. Dozens of tabs, endless reading lists, deadlines that sneak up on you like predators in the night. Sound familiar? It's that feeling like you're running on a treadmill that's constantly speeding up. You're trying your best, but you're staying in one place. Traditional study methods, reading, taking notes, memorizing, they were made for a different world, a world where information was a treasure, not noise. Today, we live in an information tsunami, and our old methods are like trying to empty the ocean with a teaspoon. It leads to burnout, stress, and, the worst part, to surface-level knowledge. You memorize it for the exam, and then it's gone. But what if I told you the problem isn't you? The problem is the tools. And what if there was a way to not just survive this flood, but to ride the wave? Imagine for a moment, you have your own personal genius assistant, available 24/7. It can read 1,000 pages for you and give you a one-page summary. It can explain the most complex theory like it's a comic book plot. It helps you not just memorize, but understand. This isn't science fiction, this is reality. And the names of these assistants are Gemini and NotebookLM. This is a fundamentally new approach to learning. It's like switching from paper maps to GPS. The idea isn't to work less, but to make your efforts 10 times more effective. Ready? Let's start with Gemini. A lot of people think, oh, it's just another chatbot. That's like saying a race car is just a car. Gemini is your creative partner, your personal tutor that never gets tired. Ask it to explain string theory using analogies from Star Wars. Ask it to critique your essay to make it stronger. It can generate ideas, create plans, translate, adapt. Imagine this, you're preparing for a debate. Gemini can build arguments for and against, predict your opponent's moves, and even practice debating with you. This is active, engaging learning, not passive memorization. But how do you focus all this power on your study materials? This is where NotebookLM enters the stage. If Gemini is a brilliant but slightly scattered professor, NotebookLM is your personal, super organized research assistant. You upload everything into it: lecture notes, PDF textbooks, articles, links, even YouTube videos. And that's where the magic begins. NotebookLM reads and understands only your materials. Ask it a question. What were the 3 main causes of the 1929 crisis, according to Professor Smith from lecture number 5? And you'll get a precise answer with quotes from your lecture. It can summarize 20 articles, create a timeline, generate a practice test from your own notes. You're no longer looking for a needle in the internet's haystack. You're working in your own clean information space. But what happens if you combine these two forces? And this is where the explosion happens. The synergy of Gemini and NotebookLM, this is where that 90% of saved time is hidden. Look how it works. Step 1, broad search with Gemini. Find me 10 key studies on the impact of social media on teenagers. You get a list, links, summaries. Step 2, deep dive with NotebookLM. Upload all those articles and lectures. Create a knowledge base. Step 3, targeted analysis in NotebookLM. Compare the conclusions from article X and Y. Create a list of all the stats. You get structured information based only on your sources. Step 4, creation with Gemini. Based on this analysis, write an essay plan. Suggest 3 arguments and a counter-argument. You don't just consume information, you process it, analyze it, and create something new, original. And here's a real example. Art history exam in 2 days. Topic, the Italian Renaissance. A nightmare, right? Sleepless nights, hundreds of names, dates. And now this way. 1, upload a textbook, chapter, articles, lectures into NotebookLM, 15 minutes. 2, ask it to create a timeline of artists, summarize the characteristics of the Renaissance, generate a glossary, 10 minutes. 3, go to Gemini, explain the difference in perspective between Giotto and Da Vinci like I'm 5. Create a story where Michelangelo and Raphael argue at whose art is cooler. Generate 20 test questions from my materials, 20 minutes. Instead of 8 hours of memorizing, less than an hour of interactive, fun work. You understood the connections, you played with the material. You're ready. And what will you do with the remaining 7 hours? And this is the most important question. Saving 90% of your study time isn't the goal, it's the means. The goal is what you spend that time on. Signing up for a rock climbing class, launching your own project, spending more time with friends, just sleeping 8 hours a night. When learning stops being a chore and becomes an effective process, everything changes. You're not just a student anymore, you become a researcher, a creator. Technologies like Gemini and NotebookLM aren't crutches for the mind. They're a trampoline that lets you jump higher than you ever imagined. So the question is no longer, how do I get it all done? The question is, what do you want to do now that you have time for everything?